Shalom. Barakatah Yahweh, Barakatah Yahweh Shai, Barakatah Yahweh, Barakatah Yahweh Shai, Barakatah Yahweh, Barakatah Yahweh Shai, Call Long La, Yahweh, Bashem Yahweh Shai, Bahashem, Racha HaKodash. Double honors to the apostles and elders of Great Millstone. Peace, blessings, and salutations to the hopefully elect. It's the brother Isaiah with the Pittsburgh TMS camp, coming at you with another lesson to the spirit and power of Yahweh, Bashem Yahweh Shai, Bahashem Racha HaKodash. Lord, when this lesson is edifying. And bear me 1 second, Baba Kashah. All right, Salakia had to move this mic cord, but all right. I came across this video from an elder, I believe is out there in Baltimore, and I'm gonna just play the clip. I got another clip and an article I want to read, and Lord willing, this lesson is edifying. Okay, hold on. I don't hear it. I gotta switch some things around audio wise, so we're gonna do this so I can hear it. We're gonna come over here so y'all can hear it. Salakia. Yeah.
That ego to want to compete with another man. If you do not,
Here we go.
you have to have that ego to want to compete with another man. If you do not have the spirit to compete, you're never going to build that toughness, and you're going to be an average person. There's nothing wrong with being an average person, but you got to want a woman who's okay with the average person. There's too many average Joes trying to get a woman who's always practicing hypergamy, and you're getting mad whenever you lose.
When a black billionaire meets
I wasn't really planning on grabbing this this scripture because I was remembering the other stuff that I seen, and I kind of got caught in that. But let's see here. Right now, it ain't Run the Race. It's yeah. Salakia. All right, 1 Corinthians 9:25. I guess I'll read it now. It says, "And every man that striveth for the mastery is temperate in all things. Now they do it to obtain a corruptible crown, but we an incorruptible." You know, and so that's just one I want to read through the spirit, okay? You know, he's talking about competing, and, you know, of course, that's the nature of life. But, you know, the difference between, okay, you know, what the, you know, the scriptures, let's get this other one too. You know, Yahweh Shai said it best. Matthew 6. And, you know, and there's a few things on it. And, you know, let's see. I'm gonna get it ready. Okay. All right. We're gonna start at 24 when we do start. So let's play the clip.
white billionaire. Do you think there's any risk? Do you think they care? He's a billionaire. I'm a billionaire. Do you think there's any risk? Do you think they
Who's trying to get a woman who's always practicing hypergamy, and you're getting mad whenever you lose?
When a black billionaire meets a white billionaire, do you think there's any risk? Do you think they care? He's a billionaire. I'm a billionaire. Both our yachts are in Monaco. He's from Algeria. He stole all the gold. I'm a stock market whatever. There's no... The racism's for the poor people, because if you keep the poor people divided, they can't wake up long enough to do what I did and read about how money works. Because if they do that, we got big trouble, right? Then the slaves will wake up. You don't want to deprogram the slaves, so you have to convince the slaves that it's not the monetary system's fault that you're broke. It's not the monetary system's fault that you continue to work for a set number of dollars and the price of houses just keep going up and up and up. It's not the monetary system's fault. It's the white man's fault, or the black man's fault, or the Asian people's fault. Someone else's fault. I think all this stuff, feminism, racism, all these things, I think they're all control mechanisms. They have to keep the poor people fighting amongst each other, because if the poor people all unite, then it's much harder to control us.
He's absolutely right. You have to think outside.
No, wrong once again. You know, and you see how this Jake is just soaking it up. You know, when the dude said, you know, that the racism and feminism and all that is systems of control, I guess you could say that. But we understand that the racism is also prophecy, okay? That you know, the ism, the schism is a part of what was the curses that was put upon us. But see, when you don't have that knowledge, you know, you rationalize things the best way that you can, okay? Which is, you hear Andrew Tate, which he says some things, but you hear Andrew Tate, and then you fall in instead of this guy and eating up his words, okay? But we have a spiritual lens and filter, okay, of approaching these things, you know, which I wasn't planning on going this way with this lesson, and now, you know, I'll pull out my precepts and go back on the same track, but you know, I just want to approach these points since I'm playing this clip.
At the box, there's no such thing as I'm woke, but I'm broke. No. Racism is only for broke people because it gives you some.
No matter, and see, this is how you know this guy has a lack of understanding. Jay-Z, why did Jay-Z make that song? Okay, you know, where the lyrics say, you know, what is it? It's called Still. It's not called Still Nigga. It's called I'm gonna just type in Still Nigga. Okay. That's the most. It's called The Story of OJ. Now I want the lyrics, honestly. Okay, lyrics. All right. Oh, it ain't gonna give me the lyrics. Give me the lyrics, man. Playing games, Esau. You know, Story of OJ. Right? It says, my skin is black, my skin is yellow. Light nigga, dark nigga, faux nigga, real nigga, rich nigga, po nigga, house nigga, field nigga, still nigga. You still a nigga, man. I don't give a fuck how much money you get. Okay? Oprah Winfrey learned a hard damn way when she went somewhere and they disrespected her. Okay, and was like, you know, this is for these cost a lot of money. You see? House nigga, don't fuck with me. I'm a field nigga with shine cutlery. Gold plated quarters where the butlers be. I'm playing double. I don't give a fuck. I really don't care. But as you see, okay, and you know, and of course he's talking about taking the drug money and buying the neighborhood and, you know, whatever the case is, and giving, you know, trying to give some game about money and how to play the game, you know, and that's not to say that there ain't ways to make money. Of course, there's ways to make money, but you know, there's a point that I want to make in all this, and Lord willing, you know, it's a good point, but you know, ultimately, I'll say it's not the fact that you can't make money. Racism has changed. The chains have, and the apostles been saying it through the Spirit. All right, there's no longer physical chains on you. No, now you got paper chains. Okay, you're a slave to your birth certificate. You're a slave mentally. Okay, and through a paper trail. Well, let's let this little clip finish.
Something to channel your anger towards. If you get around someone who's still blaming another culture for why they're down, you have to get away from them because they are stuck inside of a time period that doesn't exist anymore.
You see, this is the thing that made me do this lesson. You know, this guy is saying that if you're around somebody who's telling you, so basically, who falls into that category by default of what we teach? The Hebrew Israelites. Because what do we teach you? We teach you that according to the curses, this is why things are the way you are, the way they are. You know, and because of the Lord allow Esau, all right, to be rule over you right now. This is why in his kingdom, the system is set up for you to lose. Okay, so essentially by this Jake standards, we would fall into the people that he's telling you to get away from. Okay, but when in actuality, the knowledge that we have through the Spirit of power of Yahweh Hashem Yahweh Shai is the most important knowledge on this earth. This bald head nigga can't tell you nothing. This motherfucker can't tell you shit. Excuse my French, but it pisses me off. This nigga can't tell you nothing, man. What are you gonna tell you with his fucked up lineup, huh? Which you ain't supposed to be lining your beard or your hair. But what can he tell you? Nothing. A bunch of bullshit. And Andrew Tate, yeah, these niggas know about a little bit of this nigga know about money. I don't think this nigga know that much. But he knows about money, yeah, sure. What can he tell you about salvation? Okay? Let's get a precept. Proverbs 11:4 says, riches profit not in the day of wrath, but righteousness delivereth from death. Is he giving you righteousness? Because the things he's saying is contrary to the scriptures. The things he's saying contrary to what a man of the Lord is going to teach. So is he giving you righteousness, or is he giving you the mindset you need to prosper in a carnal aspect? He's not giving you righteousness. He's giving you worldliness. And it's okay. It's okay if brothers want to, if you make money, but that shouldn't come first. That shouldn't be the reason that you use to make. He's telling you to separate. He's telling you to separate from the brothers, basically. Why? Because brothers are stuck in a time period that don't exist. No, Jake, you are fucking blind. The hatred that E has is never going away. Okay? Thus saith the Lord. Ezekiel 35. And I'm just get to the point. Verse 5. Speaking of Esau, Mount Seir, okay, which is the dwelling place of Esau, Edom, so-called white man. It said, because thou hast had a perpetual hatred and hast shed the blood of the children of Israel by the force of the sword, in the time of their calamity, in the time that their iniquity had an end, therefore, as I live, saith the Lord power, I will prepare thee unto blood, and blood shall pursue thee, since thou hast not hated blood, even blood shall pursue thee. Okay, so the Lord said he has a perpetual hatred. Thy anger, let's type that in. What you mean that time period is gone? It ain't going nowhere till the Lord come back, man. Amos 1:11. Thus saith Yahweh, for 3 transgressions of Edom, and for 4, I will not turn away the punishment thereof. Because he did pursue his brother with the sword, and did cast off all pity, and his anger did tear perpetually, and he kept his wrath forever. So wherein, in the truth, in the scriptures, does it say we no longer in a time period of racism? The fuck are you talking about, dude? It angers you when you hear people make these statements and they're so what is it? So energetic, so passionate about the words that are coming out of their mouth in folly, in complete folly. The scriptures say if they speak not according to this word, it's because there is no light in them. I believe that's in Isaiah. Okay. Well, I'll tell you exactly where. So excuse me, for my anger, Isaiah 8:20. To the law and to the testimony, if they speak not according to this word, it is because there is no light in them. You don't have the light in you. Okay? You don't have the light, which is Yahweh Shai, which is the word, who the word English calls Jesus Christ, Yahweh Shai. Okay, which is the word made flesh. You don't have him in you. Because the things you're saying are not truth according to the scriptures. This is the only thing that matters. Everything else is side shit. Okay? If you do some further education, so that's cool, man. Whatever. Do your thing. Okay? But that shit gonna have to come secondary to this truth, man. Okay? It's gonna have to come secondary. It don't come first. Okay? But if you listen to this guy, you'll find yourself separating from the truth. You see? Because we're not in the era of racism. Let's let him say it again.
They are stuck inside of a time period that doesn't exist anymore.
Yeah, according to this nigga, right?
That's the worst thing that you can do is go through something and you never get over it for the rest of your life.
Bro, okay, so why the fuck do Jake keep dying and there's no justice? We understand that it's the judgment of the Lord. But guess what, though? When is it ever going to end? As a black man, when is the fear of the police ever gonna leave you? Okay? You can sit here and say one side of the side of your neck, there ain't no racism. But if you get pulled over right now, your ass gonna be worried, nigga. Gonna be fucking worried. Excuse my French, man.
That's what it's like when it comes to racism. You have people, black, white, Spanish, Latinos, everybody's racist, but they go back 60 years and talk about it. They go back 200 years and talk.
Oh, nigga, racism is happening now, bro. Niggas is retarded, bro. There's people that's still alive from the slavery times right now, bro. They're probably just now dying. People alive that seen slavery. Okay, nigga, we still ain't even counted as, we still counted as 3/5 of a human being, bro. That shit ain't changed. They ain't argument that. You know what I'm saying? Where we counted as a full human, bro. Come on, dog. You don't have to go back 200 years to speak of racism, man. Okay? Now we as men of the Lord understand that the Most High allows certain judgment to happen, okay, to these different wicked people, bro. But you know, it's people like this who are just completely oblivious to the truth, man.
Talk about it. They go back so far, so sometimes we didn't even have electricity for the times that they talk about. But the people that spend a lot of time talking about that, they go nowhere in life. Their brain is so little. Once you get out and start experiencing life and you go back around these people, it will agitate you to how far behind they are, and you have to eliminate them. This is why a lot of people that gain success, they get away from their family. This is Anthony Spade. Hopefully you guys get the message behind the video. Comment, like, subscribe.
I want to give all the praises.
Hasta la vista.
And that's the elder's voice right there. Okay, and I didn't get to watch his video. I know he went in on this dude. You know, and then on the comment board, Matthew 5:3, blessed are the poor in spirit, for theirs is the kingdom of heaven. You know, and like I said, you know, the stuff that he spoke of may be good for, you know, some type of financial, some type of monetary gain. But at the end of the day, man, you know, this guy, he has no light in him, you know, and you got to balance it out, because there are some people who say you can't do nothing, you ain't gonna make it, you know, this, that, and the other, you know what I'm saying? And you will have brothers that will make certain money, you know, like I said, this is not an anti-money or anti-making money, but what it is you got a lot of these Jake who think just because they success, just they was able to make a little bit of money or get a certain career or get a degree or get a few degrees, that done away with the curses. The curses ain't went nowhere. We're going to get a scripture that I pulled out. I ain't even got them in no order. But I do want to get this one. Deuteronomy. I want to get this. Deuteronomy 28:68. And Yahweh shall bring thee into Egypt again with ships. By the way whereof I spake unto thee, thou shalt see it no more again. And there you shall be sold unto your enemies for bondmen and bondwomen, and no man shall buy you. Okay, no man's going to redeem you or save you out of these things that the Lord's going to put you in. And that's where I want to go with this. Micah 2:3 says, therefore thus saith Yahweh, behold, against this family do I devise an evil, from which ye shall not remove your necks, neither shall ye go heartily, for this time is evil. And we know it's going to get very bad out here. Okay, but even when you think about the evil of the slavery, of the oppression that's been put upon you, that the Lord has ordained, you're not going to remove your neck. It don't matter you make a little money. You still a nigga in this society, man. You still a nigga. All right? Let's see. I mean, we could read this. Zephaniah, which I spoke on this a little bit. 1:18, neither shall their silver nor their gold shall be able to deliver them in the day of Yahweh's wrath, but the whole land shall be devoured by the fire of his jealousy, for he shall make even a speedy riddance of all them that dwell in the land. Okay? So this place, America, is going to be destroyed, man. Okay, along with other places that the Lord is going to strategically burn up. All right? And you're not going to, gold and silver is not going to save you. You know, all these things that he's saying is things that will separate you from the truth. All right, go chase this money, do this and do that. Man, that shit ain't going to save you, man. All right, you better wise up. You better follow the prophets, man. You better take heed, get in these scriptures, and repent. Because these niggas going to lead you down the path of destruction, man. Deuteronomy 28:29 says, and thou shalt grope at noonday, as the blind gropeth in darkness, and thou shalt not prosper in thy ways. Which you'll have a few people, but as a people, we not gonna prosper, man. And you gotta bow down and kiss this devil's ass, man, among other things, just to make money in this society. And thou shalt only be oppressed and spoiled evermore, and no man shall save thee. You see how it said the other one about no man shall buy thee? Well, this one clarifies it more. It says, and thou shalt only be oppressed and spoiled evermore, and no man shall save thee. So there's not going to be some black messiah, some human being that's able to come and deliver and come guru the so-called black Latinos and Native Americans out of, okay, this poverty and this oppression that we face as a people. Okay, it's not gonna happen. Yahweh Shai is gonna have to come back. Okay, which is when the scriptures say, "I shall not meet thee as a man." Okay, he's gonna come back in his angelic, okay, powerful form to destroy this place and to take over these kingdoms, man. And that's the only way you're gonna be saved, man. Not getting on these videos and telling Jake, you know, some things that you feel like is good, okay? And maybe it's just misplaced, but it pisses you off when you hear these different things. People make all these outlandish statements, okay? Telling you that you should get away from people who's telling you, no, bro, this in the scriptures right here. That's telling you that these constructs of white supremacy is set up against you. It's in the Bible. It's right there. Okay, but you'll have niggas like this, which he seems very simple. You know, I hate to insult him, but he does not seem to be he's not wise according to the scripture. There's no light in him. Okay? For him to understand how and why things are the way they are. All right? So yeah, Lord willing, he repents, you know, and a Salakia, you know, for my passion. All right, concerning this topic, man. All right. So I read that one. All right. And even when it comes to, you know, because they say there's no racism. Man, look, bro, the little money Andrew Tate, that ain't enough money. That ain't as much money as the international bankers got. You know, it says what, 1% of the people has 100% or 90% of the wealth, man. I think it's 1%. Yeah. You know, and who's that? The international bankers, man. The small hats, man. They got more money than Andrew Tate and all these niggas combined, man. Hundreds of trillions and more. So, yeah, you could say all that stuff, but it's more than enough wealth. I think they even said it like, man, I forget. It was some crazy statistic, man. It was like one of these niggas that's got billions of dollars, got enough to give everybody in the world $1 million or something crazy. No. He had enough billions to give everybody $1 billion and still have, you know, like so much money and still not be broke. It was crazy, man. Deuteronomy 28:43, the stranger that is within thee shall get up above thee very high, and thou shalt come down very low. He shall lend to thee, and thou shalt not lend to him. He shall be the head, and thou shalt be the tail. Another scriptural example of how there's so-called white supremacy, Edomite supremacy. The Edomites are over you. They lend to you. You don't go to a bank, and you don't find no so-called black bank where you can go to. There's a national chain. Let me put that in there. You don't find a national so-called black bank. There's a chain of banks like Bank of America or PNC or, you know, Chase Bank. You don't find that from a so-called black man where you can go and get you a loan. No, you're going to go find so-called white-owned banks. You know what I'm saying? And you got to ask them for a loan. That's scriptural, nigga. And a lot of times they'll deny you. It's called redlining. If you live in a certain area, you get locked out of certain things. Now, there's ways around it in this day and age. Sure. Get a business and you get an EIN and you build business credit, and then now no longer looking at you, it's looking at the address of your business and, you know, different things that you can do. Yeah, of course. There's ways around it. But that's not, but the average so-called Edomite, the average so-called white person, you know what I'm saying? I ain't gonna even say average. Most white people don't have to go through all that to get a loan. Okay? They don't have to build a whole new, and this is not to say all of them, because things is getting more and more messed up nowadays for everybody. Okay? But traditionally, a so-called white person will have their family structure to a point where they can have good credit and they don't have significant credit impacts. You know how many Jake parents had to use their information to get bills on and run the bill up and don't pay it? And before you 18, you got shit already you owe? Come on, man. Edomites, the most Edomites ain't got to go through that. Ain't never known about that. They ain't had to worry about their lights and their heat being cut off. You see? So yeah, they got certain things, a lot of them, where they set up already. And that's not to say that some so-called black people don't have it that way. But you got the majority where Edomites, so-called white people, they got it that way, where they parents get them their first car. You know what I'm saying? Come on, dog. Jake be in their own fucking world. They just act like they don't understand. They don't understand life. Okay? It ain't even about an excuse. It's about what you've been through. Can you get out of it if the Lord lets you? It ain't even all the way up to us. You see? Let's see. First Samuel 2:7 says, Yahweh maketh poor and maketh rich. He bringeth low and lifteth up. You see, verse 8, he raiseth up the poor out of the dust and lifteth up the beggar from the dunghill, to set them among princes and to make them inherit the throne of glory. For the pillars of the earth are Yahweh's, and he hath set the world upon them. You see? So it ain't even up to you. There's another one that says, and Salaki, if this lesson's too long. Ecclesiastes 9:11. Let's go here. Says, I returned and saw under the sun that the race is not to the swift, nor the battle to the strong, neither yet bread to the wise, nor yet riches to men of understanding, nor yet favor to men of skill, but time and chance happeneth to them all. So you could be very skilled, you could be very intelligent, you could be very good at a certain particular thing. Okay, but time and chance have to happen unto you all. And we understand that it ain't really just time and chance. It's actually the Lord lifting you up, the Lord putting you in a position to become rich or make money. It don't have a lot to do with you. You know, you only play a small role. It's really what the Lord have put on your mind and your spirit to do. So let's see, I'm kind of dragging this lesson out. Read that. Okay, read that. All right. Boom. Okay, we're getting down to the wire. Let's play this next clip.
When you talk about critical race theory, which is pretty much going to be teaching kids how to hate each other, how to dislike each other, that's pretty much what it's going to, I don't care what you say, it's pretty much what it's going to all come down to. You're going to deliberately teach kids, this white kid right here got it better than you because he white? You're going to personally tell a white kid?
I don't know if this kid give me a copyright strike in that.
Oh, the black people are all down and suppressed. How do I have 2 medical degrees if I'm sitting here oppressed? How do
So that's, there's more.
I get, first of all, time out, because I only got 5 minutes now. 5 minutes. 2 medical degrees. No mom, no dad in the house. Worked my way through college. Sat there and hustled my butt off to get through college. You gonna tell me somebody that looked like all y'all white folks kept me from doing that?
All right. So, he's kind of going to the same thing of, and like I said, it's not to say you can't do certain things. Sure. You can get you a medical degree. You can do that. You can do that. Yeah, that's fine. That is true. But don't act like that doesn't disannul the obvious racism, the obvious marginalism, the obvious categorisms that you experience. As a matter of fact, sometimes you experience more hatred or more racial profiling when you make a certain amount of money, because you might drive a certain car and you're gonna get pulled over more by the police. Hell, even Edomites that got certain cars get pulled over by the police. Okay, so that's just what it is. And I kind of want to get this. Like I said, the whole thing wasn't really about CRT. He said the word of what it stands for. Okay, but it says what the beliefs are is the belief that race is culturally invented category to use to oppress people of color. Okay, which race, race, white and black. Okay, is a social construct. That's something that Esau Edom came up with to categorize. Okay, there's no such thing as a white person. There's no person that's the color of this background, and there's no person that's the color of this text. Okay, so it was obviously is something that was invented, okay, to marginalize and categorize people. The law and legal institutions in the United States are inherently racist insofar as they function to create and maintain social, political, and economic inequalities between so-called white and so-called non-white people, and that is true. That is true. It's not a lie. No lies there. It says rejection of popular understandings about racism, such as arguments of blah. Oh yeah, so, it rejects popular understandings about racism, such as arguments that confine racism to a few bad apples. And it's a system of racism. You know, you're taught things amongst culture of ways to look at people. There's a way you're taught to look at people, you know? CRT recognizes that racism is codified in law. Yeah, it's codified in law, embedded in structures, and woven into public policy. Okay, it rejects claims of meritocracy or colorblindness. Yeah. Oh yeah. Basically, it rejects the claims that things are based off of merit, and it also, basically that it ain't about the color, but it's about your merit, your character, which is not true. CRT recognizes that it is the systemic nature of racism that bears primary responsibility for reproducing racial inequality. Okay, and this is Esau's kingdom. Why wouldn't he keep his people up to a certain level? All right, boom. And that's pretty much all I wanted. I'm not gonna go too deep into that. Okay, so there are some things about it that are definitely true. Those things I just read are true. All right. I already read this. Baruch 3, bump you, I'm going to read this one. Baruch 3:8 says, behold, we are yet this day in our captivity, where thou hast scattered us for a reproach and a curse. Okay, spoken of in Deuteronomy 28. And to be subject to payments, according to all the iniquities of our fathers, which departed from the Lord our power. See? So we're still in this captivity, man. So, and we're subject under payments. You got to pay taxes. You got to pay land taxes. You got to, there's taxes on everything. All right. You got to pay. I spoke about that the other day. You think this ain't slavery, man? You got to pay for, which everybody's pretty much subject to this, but it's still a system of oppression and control. And it's, a lot of sometimes Jake have a hard time with this stuff, but you got to pay for. Yeah. So basically here it goes, right? You got a car. Okay. You got to keep insurance on that car, and you got to keep registration. If you don't have insurance, they'll revoke your registration or suspend your registration. And if you get caught driving without insurance or registration, they can take away your license or suspend your license, take away your car. It can impound your car for not having license, insurance, or they can tell you can't drive it. There's just certain things where, so let's say you don't have a lot of Jake don't have a support system. A lot of so-called Black, Latino, Native American, which I'll say primarily so-called blacks, don't have a support system. So let's say you hit a bad thing in life, or whatever the case is, you can't afford one of those things. Let's say something happened to your car that you can't afford to fix, and your inspection's about to run out. So you go try to get an inspection, because you gotta have inspection, or they'll write you a ticket. Okay, they'll write you a ticket if you don't have up-to-date inspection stickers, which it depends on what state you live on. So let's say something happened to your car, you can't pay for it. You can't pay for it, the repair, but there's something that'll stop you from passing inspection. Now what? So now you can't get your inspections passed. So you riding around with them tickets messed up. Or you got to pay a fee. You have to pay either a ticket, or you have to find somebody to pay. It's certain things you might be able to do. But I'm just saying, this whole system is oppressive, man. That's the point I'm trying to get into. Because I need to wrap this up. It's kind of getting long. 1 Corinthians 9:25 says, and I already read that. All right, Matthew 6:24. That's what I want to read. Okay. It says, no man can serve two masters, for either he will hate the one and love the other, or else he will hold to the one and despise the other. You cannot serve God and mammon, okay? And mammon is the god of money. You can't serve the Most High and serve money, All right. But you got these, hey, look, he would despise the Lord. Okay. The Lord told that rich young man, look, sell all that you have. Okay. And give it to the poor, and then come and follow me. And the young man went away sorrowful. Right. Why? Because he had great substance. Verse 25 says, therefore I say unto you, take no thought for your life, what ye shall eat or what ye shall drink, nor yet for your body, what ye shall put on. Is not the life more than meat, and the body more than raiment? Behold the fowls of the air, for they sow not, neither do they reap, nor gather into barns. Yet your heavenly Father feedeth them. Are ye not much better than they? Which of you by taking thought can add but 1 cubit, unto his stature? Okay, verse 27. And why take ye thought for raiment? Consider the lilies of the field, how they grow. They toil not, neither do they spin. And yet I say unto you that even Solomon in all his glory was not arrayed like one of these. Okay, which, like I said in the beginning, I'm not saying you shouldn't work. You do need to make money. We all need to make money. That's no problem. But you know what I'm saying? This guy's mindset is just off. Wherefore, if the Most High so clothe the grass of the field, which today is, and tomorrow is cast into the oven, shall he not much more clothe you, O ye of little faith? Okay, therefore take no thought, saying, what shall we eat? Or what shall we drink? Or wherewithal shall we be clothed? For after all these things do the Gentiles seek. For your heavenly Father knoweth that you have need of all these things. But seek ye first the kingdom of the Most High and his righteousness, and all these things shall be added unto you. Take therefore no thought for the morrow shall take thought for the things of itself. Sufficient unto the day is the evil thereof. So, the Most High Yahweh Shem Yahushai is already setting things in motion. Okay, for brothers, brothers is not just sitting around idle. Brothers have different jobs or different things where the Lord is allowing you to be able to do this, do that, and make money and different things like that. So that happens, but it's not going to be your primary focus. Your focus is going to be this truth, and those other things that the Lord have you doing. Of course, they're going to pan out as the Lord sees fit. Okay. But this guy, after these things do the Gentiles seek, that's their whole life. Their whole life is, I gotta get this money. How can I get this money, man? I gotta get this money, man. I gotta get this money. Gotta get this money, money, money. Money, money, money is their whole life. All right. And that's not all life is about. So I'm gonna go ahead and end it there. I'm gonna give all honor, glory, and praise to Yahweh Shem Yahushai, by Hashem Rekaha Kodash. Double honors to the apostles and elders of Great Millstone. Peace, blessings, and salutations to the hopefully elect. But then I'm gonna say Shalom, Wa Ba Ba, Shalom.